request. You've all done yoga before. Yeah, you've all done it before. Yeah, okay, cool. Just something like nice and stretchy, not too crazy. Good stretch. Okay, okay. We'll get some good stretches in then. Okay. Okay, so maybe a little stretchiness for, okay, cool. We can do that. So let's actually start laying down, you guys. Let's go ahead and just lay down on your back. And as you come to lay down, it might feel good to stretch your arms long and your legs long. Might feel good to give yourself like a little temple massage or a forehead massage. So take your time, but eventually just settle in to any position that feels good, that feels comfortable for you. And close your eyes. And let's even say bring one hand to your heart space and one hand to your belly. And let's begin with a 3-part breath exercise today. So I'll cue you through it, but all we will do, it's very simple. We'll just first breathe into our low belly, pause, so just a third of the way up. And we'll take that same breath up into our mid ribs, mid abdomen. Then we'll take that same breath all the way up into our chest and our shoulders. And then we'll slowly let it go for about 10 seconds. You can breathe through your nose or your mouth or a little bit of both. So it's completely up to you. Start by just exhaling, emptying all the way out. Inhale first, low belly, low back, pause. Now take that same breath up into mid abs, mid back, side body. All the way up, as full as you can get. Chest, shoulders, upper back, holding that fullness. Let it go slowly for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, low belly, low back, hips, pelvis, mid ribs, mid back, side body. And then as big as you can get, take that breath all the way up into the crown of your head. Hold. Slow release. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Low belly, low back. Feel your belly expand into your hands. Mid ribs, mid back, mid abdominals. And chest, shoulders, upper back, crown of your head. Hold for just a moment in that fullness. Slowly let it go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time, just great big inhale. Hold, maybe even extra little sip at the top. And then open your mouth and big sigh. Ah. Good. Start to drop into Ujjayi breath now. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. So the inhale is just like you're taking a really deep, slow motion gas. The exhale is like you're fogging up a window with your lips sealed over the breath. See if you can start to create just that little whisper noise, that oceanic sound as you breathe in and out. And if you can't quite get it today, not a huge deal, but do breathe deeper than you usually would and put more intention behind your breath. So keep this breath with you, keep your rhythm, and just draw both knees towards your belly and find a gentle rock from side to side. So give your low back a nice little massage against the ground. And then after a few rocks side to side, just let both of your knees fall to the right side. Reach your left arm out to the left. So a nice supine twist. Yeah, gaze up or over your left shoulder. And then breathe down into your belly. Intentional breaths down into your belly. Take just about 2 more big, spacious inhales. Slow, steady exhales. And then as you're ready, bring your knees through center. Take a little rock or give them just a big squeeze. And then over to the other side. So knees go left as your right arm extends out to the right. Gaze up or over right shoulder and breathe. Takes a little extra effort to breathe when you're in a twist, to breathe deeply. So you might put just that little bit of extra effort behind your breath. Give your weight to the ground, soften through your face, unclench your jaw. Take one last round on this side. And then bring it back to center, just like we did before, those little rocks from side to side. And you choose, you can find your own way up to hands and knees, or you can follow me. I'm gonna start to rock and roll forward and back along my spine. So you might take a few rocks, make them as smooth as possible, a little bit of engagement through your core, and then eventually rock up, cross your ankles, and just bring your hands to the ground in front of you, kind of roll over your feet, and then adjust, crawl back, find yourself nice and centered on your mat, tabletop position, and then start to move through some cat-cows. So inhale to arch your spine, lift your head, lift your tailbone, and exhale to round, hollow out, empty out. So go back and forth with your breath through just these 2 postures, but make them as interesting as you can. Find as much mobility here as you can. Couple more deep breaths. And then we'll take it all the way back whenever you're ready to our first downward facing dog. So as you feel complete with your cat-cows, downward facing dog. Lift your hips, lengthen your spine. Give yourself a moment to feel into your down dog. Maybe walk it out, pedal out your heels, shift your weight from side to side. Maybe give your head a little shake, yes or no. Spread your fingers wide and find strength in your hands. So press really a lot into your fingertips, almost like you're a gecko holding onto a screen door. See if you can feel a connection to your center. So imagine a rope attached to your belly button. It's pulling up and tugging back. Take just one more inhale. And then as you exhale, look forward to the top of your mat. And however you want to get there, you can step, tiptoe, hop, forward, fold. Pause in your fold for a few breaths, and you can take ragdoll if you want. Grab opposite elbows. You might also bring your hands behind your head and interlace your fingers at the base of your skull. Give the back of your neck a bit of traction. See if you can sway or bob or bounce. So more weight in your toes and the balls of your feet, less weight in your heels. Even if you have a big bend in your knees, totally fine. Just focus on lifting your butt as high as you can. Crown towards the ground, butt towards the sky. One more round. Inhale into a halfway lift position. So spine nice and long, parallel to the earth. Exhale, let it go, fold in. Let's do that one more time. So feel the difference between these 2 poses. Inhale, halfway lift. Spine is long, back of your neck is long. And then exhale, fold and bow. This time, come through your halfway lift and rise all the way up. Stand, reach up. Hands to heart as you exhale. Let's flow for a moment through a couple half sun salutes. Inhale, reach up and stretch. Exhale, lead with your heart, hinge at your hips, slow dive down, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Stick your butt out and press back through the tops of your thighs. Exhale, let it go, refold. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, take it back up. Arms to the sky, big full body stretch. Hands to heart as you exhale. One more time, just like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slow dive. Let your breath guide you. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Press into your feet, heart leads, take it back up, reverse swan dive, arms to the sky. Inhale. Hands to heart as you exhale. This time, inhale, reach up. And then as you exhale, take your hands behind your back and interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back and down, shoulder blades squeeze towards your spine. See if you can reach your hands back away from your body a little bit. And then if you want to, you can even add a little back bend. So puff up through your chest, take your gaze up. Press your hips gently forward, but hug in with your inner thighs. Take one more inhale here. Keep your clasp and exhale all the way down into your fold. If this feels like a lot, your hands might be resting on your low back. Otherwise, work that opening in the front of your shoulders. See if you can lift your knuckles higher. See if you can lift your sit bones higher. See if you can let your neck relax more. Soften your face. One more inhale. Exhale, hands to low back. Release your clasp, nice and easy. Find a halfway lift position. Breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your yoga mat, plank position. Take an inhale at the top. You're welcome to come to your knees if you'd like. Exhale to slowly lower. Let's take a Sphinx pose. So bring your forearms out in front of you. Forearms are parallel and your elbows are pretty much straight down from your shoulders. So not back here, but make sure elbows straight down from your shoulders and then lift your heart. Reach your tailbone down towards your heels. Draw your belly button in and up. And imagine with your arms, you're trying to drag your body forward. So energetically pull back with your arms, like you're trying to pull your heart through. Breathe. Take one more inhale, pull back with your arms, open through the front of your heart. Good. And then exhale, release, let it go. Bring your hands out wide now onto the carpet. Lift to your fingertips, elbows face the sky. Inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, take a little twist to your right side. Dip your left shoulder down. Make sure your hands are nice and wide to give your shoulder space. Inhale through center. Other side, exhale, little twist, right shoulder dips. Inhale back to center, lift your heart. Let it go, exhale. Press up to hands and knees, tabletop position. All right, from tabletop, we're gonna move into a modified side plank on our right side. So pivot on your right knee, right foot comes out to the side of your mat like a little kickstand, left leg reaches back, and then left arm up. So open up, towards the left side of the room. Make sure your left leg is straight back behind you rather than out in front of your body. And then maybe reach your left arm forward, float your left leg up. Final option, only if you want to take it. You definitely do not have to. Bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your foot, kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. So wherever you are at your pose, one more big deep breath. Yes, awesome, you guys. And then slowly release, unwind back to tabletop. From your tabletop, hands and knees, take your right leg, extend it straight out to the right, toes face forward. Take your left arm, extend it straight out to the left. And then if you can, reach up, breathe in here. Exhale, thread your left arm through. So reach like you want to grab your right big toe and then come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. If you hate having your right leg extended out, you're welcome to set your right knee down, no big deal. If you want to wrap your right arm behind you, go for it. I just like to push into the ground with my right fingertips and kind of leverage the twist. So your own variation, about 2 or 3 more breaths. Good job, friends. And then if you do happen to have your right hand lifted, set your right hand back on the ground. Next, inhale, unthread your left arm, reach your left arm out and all the way up. And then exhale, left hand comes down. Now pick up your right foot and swing your right leg over so your right toes come off the left side of your mat. Push them into the ground, pull your hips to the right, gaze back over your left shoulder, look back at your tiptoes. Yeah, see if you can lengthen through your right leg, through your entire right side. So you might kind of lean into it, bend one or both elbows. Make it feel good for you. Yes, one more breath. End of your exhale, back to tabletop. And then back to downward facing dog. Good job, friends. Find your breath, slow, steady, spacious. Take one more great big inhale. Maybe lift your hips just a little higher. And then exhale, look forward, however you want to get there. Feet to the top of your mat, forward fold. Right into your halfway lift. Breathe in and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet, all the way to stand. Arms reach up. Stretch tall. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, inhale, arms up. This time we'll take a side body stretch over to the right. So you can bring right hand to right hip for a little more support. You can slide your right hand down your right leg. You can grab hold of your left wrist. So you do you. Just feel into the length of your left thigh. Breathe into the length of your left side. One more round. Inhale back to the center, reach up, realign. Other side with your exhale, up and over. So again, your own variation. It might be the same, it might be different on this side. You choose. Breathe into your right waistline, rib cage, a little more weight in your right foot. One more great big huge breath. Inhale back to the center, reach up. And then as you exhale, little baby back bend. Cactus your arms, squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades, lift your heart, gaze up. Inhale to realign your spine, so find neutral, arms to the sky. Exhale, stick your butt out, reach your heart forward all the way down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your mat, plank or modified plank. Take an inhale at the top. You're welcome to bring your knees down. Exhale, slowly lower. This time we'll start with just a baby cobra. So keep your hands where they're at. Lift your chest without using the strength in your arms, just the strength in your back. Roll your shoulders back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine so your elbow tips are pointing back. And then just like in Sphinx, imagine with your hands, you're trying to drag your body forward. So pull back. Let your heart come forward. Press down through your shoelaces and your pelvis. Feel the strength in your back body. One more inhale. As you exhale, release. And then we're going to come back into our Spider-Man Cobra. Hands out wide up on your fingertips. Lift your heart, not too high. And this time we're going to bend our right knee. Press into your right fingertips. Roll onto your outer left hip and reach your right toes towards the ground behind you. So it's like you have a scorpion tail with your right foot, your right leg. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Point your toes towards the ground. If you want more, you can reach your toes up towards your left hand behind you. Maybe let your left shoulder dip down a bit. Take one more round. Nice, you guys. Back through center, and we'll switch it up. So right leg is now straight, left knee bends. Press into left fingertips, roll onto the outside of your right hip. Reach your left toes towards the ground behind you like you've got a little scorpion tail. Maybe even reach your toes up towards your right hand a little more. Right shoulder is dipping down just a bit. One last round. And then back to center. Release it down. Tabletop position, hands and knees. And for just a moment, sit back into a child's pose. I like my knees wide. You can keep your knees together anywhere in between. So hips to heels, forehead rests on your mat, and just breathe. Sometimes I like to roll my forehead side to side or kind of swivel my hips side to side. Maybe take a big open mouth exhale. And then rise up, tabletop position, hands and knees. All right, from hands and knees, we're moving into modified side plank on our left side. So pivot on your left knee, right leg reaches back, and then right arm up. Yeah, try not to stick your butt out behind you. So rather than this, Think of this, press your hips forward. Maybe reach your right arm forward, bicep next to ear. Maybe float your right leg up. Perfect place to stay. Final option only if you want to take it. Bend your right knee, reach back, grab hold of your foot. Once you've got it, kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. See if you can let your heart look up a little bit more. One last breath, your fullest expression. And then end of your exhale, slow release, back to tabletop, back to hands and knees. And then from your tabletop, left leg goes straight out to the left, toes face forward. Perfect. So sole of your foot is on the ground, right arm out to the right. And then if you can, all the way up to the sky, breathe in. Yeah, exhale, thread it through. So reach, 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 come down to rest, outside of shoulder, outside of head, nice and easy. Big, deep breaths, intentional breaths. Good job, you guys. If you do happen to have your left hand lifted, set your left hand back down. Next, inhale, unthread your right arm. Reach it out, reach it up, open up, reach as high as you can. Right hand down, and then pick up your left foot. Swing your left leg all the way over, so left toes off the right side of your mat. Push them down, pull your hips over to the left and gaze back over your right shoulder. If you're lengthening through your left side, you might kind of lean into it. You might bend one or both elbows. You might rock forward or back. One last breath. And then tabletop, hands and knees. Take it back to downward facing dog. Ujjayi, slow, steady, spacious inhales and long, strong, intentional exhales all the way to emptiness. Take one more inhale into your dog pose. And then exhale, look forward, however you want to get there. Forward fold, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet and take it all the way to stand. Big full body stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, inhale, reach up. And then as you exhale, you're just going to twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Notice if your hips came with you. See if you can square off your hips. So pull your left hip back, draw your right hip forward. Now you should feel this more through your core. Broaden through your shoulders and extend out through your fingers. Maybe gaze over your right hand behind you. Take one more round. Inhale to stand taller. Exhale to twist further. Inhale back to center, both arms up. Exhale, other side. So right arm forward, left arm back. Notice if your hips went with you. Pull your left hip forward, pull your right hip back. So it's like you have a block, a yoga block in between your inner thighs. You're squeezing it. Your hips are square. You're using the strength in your core to work your twist. Maybe gaze back over left hand. One more round. Inhale, reach up. Add a little baby back bend as you exhale. Cactus your arms, curl open, lift your heart. Arms to the sky, realign, breathe in. Slow dive all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, feet back, plank or modify. Inhale at the top of your push-up. Exhale all the way to your belly. Pause on your belly, and we're gonna take shoulder pigeon. So turn your head left, right arm straight out to the right with your palm facing the ground, and then roll up onto your right side. Your left foot can come down behind you. Your left foot can stay out in front of you. Sometimes I even like to grab my left big toe with my peace fingers, extend my left leg up. Left arm might reach up and back like you're trying to touch the backs of your hands. You could also wrap your forearm across your low back. Keep your head relaxed on the ground. Yeah. And then focus on your breathing. Big inhales and almost sloppy exhales. Exhale to just let it go and melt more. Okay, I'm just going to take that. Yeah, like that. And then if you want to take this one across your low back, yeah, all good. Take about 3 more. So allowing yourself to really settle here. Let go of resistance. Notice any places you're tightening through your face, through your jaw, forehead. Open mouth size, always welcome. One last great big breath. And then end of your exhale, just roll back onto your belly. And for a moment, turn your head to the opposite side and just let your arms rest down by your sides. Kind of shimmy your hips side to side, rock your hips back and forth as you breathe down into your low back. And then as you're ready, set up your shoulder pigeon on the left. So your head is already turned to the right. Just stretch your left arm straight out, palm faces the ground, and roll up onto your left side body. So left hand straight out from your left shoulder, yeah. Other left hand. Yeah, there you go. Good job, friends. Any variation you want to take on this side. So you might do exactly what you did on the other side. Maybe this side feels completely different. You want to go somewhere different, that's fine. So just be present with it. Feel, breathe, respond to what you feel. A few more rounds. Head is resting down. Your breath is moving all the way down into your belly. Exhales to just relax a little more, melt a little more. Let's take one more great big huge breath. And then end of your exhale, again, roll back onto your belly. Turn your head in the opposite direction just for a moment. Arms down by your sides. Breathe down into your low back. You can either shimmy your hips side to side, or you can bend your knees and windshield wiper your shins. Maybe you want to tee your arms out to both sides. That's fine too. And then in your next couple of breaths, no rush, but just take it up and back into another child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to your mat. And just rest there for a moment. Reconnect to your breath. Feel a sense of grounding, a connection to the ground. Take one more round in child's pose. And then downward facing dog. All right, inhale into your down dog. Exhale, look forward, step or hop, top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then listen, exhale, fold. Keep your right foot where it is at. Step your left foot all the way back so you're in a low lunge. And then from our lunge, we're going to add a twist. Left hand on the ground, right arm to the sky. Yeah. So open through the right side of your heart. Reach up through your right fingertips. Keep your legs strong. Breathe down into your belly. Use your exhales to work your twist a little deeper. Take 1 or 2 more rounds here. Good, you guys. And then at the end of your next exhale, release, unwind, walk both hands over to the left long edge of your mat, parallel your feet, and straighten out your legs. Yep, good job. Feet are parallel, all 10 toes face forward. Halfway lift, stick your butt out, reach the top of your head forward, find length. And then exhale, either refold, or if you want to explore in any way, Get curious in any way. You've got about 5 breaths. So maybe you want to bend one knee and then the other knee. Maybe you want to take a twist. Maybe you want to take a headstand if that's in your practice. Anything goes. Just stay present. Stay with each inhale, each exhale. Really good, you guys. Couple more rounds. Feel into all that sensation in the backs of your legs. Try not to lean back into your heels. Next time you breathe in, come back to your halfway lift, fingertips on the ground so you can bend your knees a lot if needed. And then exhale, walk your hands forward to the top of your mat. Keep your hands inside your right foot. So you're in a low lunge with your hands inside your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of your mat or even onto the carpet. Bring your back knee down gently. And then let your hips sink down, lift your heart. So you're gazing forward. You can let your hips get closer to the ground as you lift your heart up. Back toes can be tucked or you can untuck them. This is a great place to stay. If this feels like a lot, this is your pose. Stay right here. Otherwise, you can start to let your heart melt down. Don't let your right knee come forward of your ankle. So if that starts happening, walk your front foot further forward. You can let your right toes spin out to the right or even pivot onto the outer edge of your right foot. Big deep breaths. Yeah, good. Wherever you're at, you've got about 3 more. Nice work, friends. Take one last huge inhale. And if you want, open mouth sigh. Come back up onto your hands. And then from here, we're going to meet back in a plank pose. So you can get there however you want to. I'm just going to lift my back knee up and then work my right leg back. Plank or modified plank. Spread your fingers. Push the ground away. Find your strength. Inhale here. You guys look awesome. Exhale, slowly lower. This time, back bend of your choice. So you can do any of them that we have done already or something new, up to you. See you back in down dog. Inhale into your dog pose, push the ground away. Exhale, look to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop forward fold. With your in-breath, find your spinal extension. So feel into all that length. Yeah, and then exhale, fold. This time, left foot stays where it's at, right foot all the way back, low lunge. So take a moment to adjust if needed. And then as you're ready, add your twist. Right hand down, left arm up. I always come up to my right fingertips personally. Try to keep your back leg just as strong and powerful as your front leg. Imagine that you're energetically pulling your front hip back, but at the same time, your left knee is magnetized to your right armpit. Take a couple more rounds. End of your next exhale, let it go. Walk your hands over to the right long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. This way, this way, this way. This way, this way, yes. All right, come to a halfway lift, fingertips on the ground, and start to walk your hands further towards the back edge of your mat as you bend your right knee, your back knee. So right knee is bent, all 10 toes still face forward, left hand down, right arm up. You don't have to walk your hands too far back. You want your spine nice and long. Crown reaches forward, butt reaches back. Open through the right side of your heart. Yeah, one more round. End of your exhale, release. Walk your hands through center towards the front edge of your mat, just a little bit. Left knee bends, right hand down, left arm up. All of your toes still face forward. Butt is reaching back. Spine is long, crown forward. Open through the left side of your chest. One last breath. End of your exhale, let it go. Wide-legged forward fold. So both legs as straight as you can get them. If that means there's a bend in your knees, totally fine. Hang out. Maybe you're ragdoll. Maybe you want to grab your ankle. Maybe you want to walk your hands forward, almost like you're in a really, really wide-legged down dog. Yeah, nice, you guys. Last couple breaths. Feel free to side out your mouth. Come back to your halfway lift, fingertips on the ground, bend knees if needed. Walk your hands to the top of your mat, the front edge of your mat. Pivot your toes to face forward, low lunge. Hands stay inside your left foot. Walk your left foot out to the width of your mat, maybe even onto the carpet. Back knee comes down. And then think of hips moving down as your heart lifts up. So let your hips kind of sink down. If you need to move your back knee back a bit to let that happen, move your back knee back. So heart, you want it to look forward if possible. Take your gaze forward. Stay here, or slowly start to work that melting of your heart down. Just as low as you can go. You don't need to force anything. Try not to lean too far over to the right, but encourage your weight to the left. Breathe, slow, spacious breaths. You can just let yourself be in discomfort. Tell your body, it's okay, you're safe, you can relax, you don't need to freak out. So those big, deep breaths, that's how you signal to your body that everything is okay. Take one more huge inhale. And then if you want, side out your mouth. Come back up to your hands if you're not there already. Plant them firmly. However, you want to make your transition into a plank position. Go for it. So hands under shoulders, hips level with shoulders, knees come down if you want to modify. Inhale, push the ground away. Exhale to slowly lower. Back bend of your choice, and you're welcome to stay a little longer, extra couple breaths if it feels good. And then whenever you're ready, child's pose, sit back. All right, inhale, rise to hands and knees. And then from hands and knees, we're gonna move into a funky version of pigeon. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna slide your right knee up behind your right wrist, and then kind of scoot your right foot forward as you just let your hips sit over to the right. So you're on the outside of your right hip, your hips are open. Yeah, and then adjust your legs so that your front shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Yes, good. And then left shin is kind of sort of parallel to the left long edge of your mat. Sit up tall, take your arms out wide or cactus arms, and just work the mobility through your waistline for a moment. Twist back and forth. Good. And then turn your heart to face towards your right foot. So you're slightly turned to the left, arms up. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, like you're swan diving down, hinge at your hips, think heart towards your right big toe. Your hands can come to the ground whenever. So you're lengthening for as long as possible, then you can just relax. This is a really safe way to explore your hips. So if you want to, you can walk your hands more over to one side, then over to the other side, kind of see what feels like it's giving you the most benefit. And then breathe into your right hip. Breathe into any space that feels tight, that feels stuck, that feels heavy or dense. And see if you can really let yourself settle. So rather than anticipating, okay, when can we get out of this pose? When can we get out of this pose? Just be in it. Breath by breath. Notice, feel, observe. And just allow whatever's there to have space inside of you. About 3 more rounds. All right, you guys, end of your next exhale, lift your upper body and then sit up tall, just facing towards the front of your mat. See if you can pick up your back leg and swing it all the way around, left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Good job. This kind of bothers my knee, so I'm going to extend my right leg. Totally up to you what feels better. You can bring your right heel a little closer to your left butt cheek if you want to keep that variation. Everybody hug your knee in and just sit up tall. Yep. And then left arm reaches up. See if you can get even taller. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to your left. Left hand comes down behind you. You can keep your right hand where it's at, or if you want, you can kind of latch your right elbow to the outside of left knee. Your choice. Try not to lean back too much on your left hand, but instead use your left hand behind you just to help you sit up taller. Broaden through your shoulders, maybe gaze back over your left shoulder. Nice work, you guys. 2 more breaths. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. End of your next exhale, unwind just your upper body, hands over to the other side of your mat, just to the ground. Yeah, and then just take a little bow, round your back. Your left butt cheek can lift. This should feel good. It's just a nice little counter twist. So sometimes I like to push into the ground and really curl in, feels nice. Breathe into your low back, 1 more round. Good job, you guys, and then lift back up. Take both legs out in front of you. If you want, you can give them a little shakeout. We'll move into windshield wipers. So feet mat width distance apart, knees bent. Roll your shoulders back and down, puff up through your chest, breathe in. And then exhale, knees go to the left. Maybe gaze to your right. Inhale through center. Other side as you exhale. Back and forth a few more times at your own pace. Feel into your hips. Feel into your groin, your low back. Eventually, just bring it back to center. Here are your options. So you can either cross your ankles in front of you. You can watch first and then choose what you want to do. Cross your ankles in front of you, rock forward, step back to plank, move through your vinyasa. If you want, just for fun, you can try crossing your ankles, rocking forward, jumping back to a chaturanga with bent elbows is how you want to land. No pressure. So go for it, whichever one of those variations you want to try, and we'll meet back in a child's pose position. Nice, you guys. Back bend of your choice, and then sit back and rest. Slow, deep breath. After a couple restorative grounding breaths in child's pose, rise up, tabletop position. And we'll do that exact same thing on the other side. So left knee up towards the back of your left wrist. Then you can kind of start scooting your left foot forward as you sit your hips down. Yep. So let your hips open and then take a moment to adjust. You want your front shin pretty much parallel to the front edge of your mat. Back shin somewhat parallel to that long edge of your mat. And then sit up as tall as you can. Arms out or cactus arms, and just work that mobility through your waistline for a second. So using your core, twisting, yeah. Keep your spine nice and tall, and then turn so you're facing towards your left foot. Slightly turn to the right. Take your arms up, stretch, inhale, and then exhale, hinge at your hips, swan dive, heart leads, heart towards your left big toe. You might not be able to go very far. Maybe it's just a little tilt forward. That's fine. You can rest your hands or your forearms down. You can relax into it. You can explore. So again, this is a really safe position to explore your hips. So if you want to move to one side or the other, see how it feels, go for it. Keep a little flexion through your toes so your ankles stay strong. Let's say 3 more big deep breaths.
Visualize your breath moving down into your hip. You want last exhale, side out your mouth. And then slowly begin to lift your upper body. Sit up tall. And then see if you can use the strength, mobility in your right leg, right hip. Swing your right leg all the way around. You want to keep your leg like this. Just bring your heel closer to your butt cheek. Otherwise, you can extend your leg, which is what I'm going to do. All right, hug your knee in, get really tall. Yep, and then right arm up. Inhale here, so you begin reach higher. Exhale, twist to your right. Right hand comes down behind you or right fingertips. You can latch your left elbow or just use your left hand against your right knee as a little bit of leverage. Maybe gaze back over right shoulder. Try to sit up super tall. So your hand behind you, it's not to lean back on and get lazy. It's just to help you stay tall through your spine, stay broad through your shoulders. Take about 2 more deep breaths all the way down into your belly. Good work. End of your next exhale, unwind just your upper body. Hands over to your left side, off the left side of your mat. Right butt cheek can lift and just take a little bow. Let your spine round. Maybe even push the ground away as you curl in. Breathe down to low back one more time. And then lift up. Uncross your legs. Again, if you want, a little shake out. And then a couple more windshield wipers. You know right where to go. Get back into it. A couple times each way. And then as you're ready, we'll set up for Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. So feet together, knees apart. And the goal is not to get your head to the ground. The goal is to get length in your spine. So if that means you need to scoot your feet a little further away from your pelvis, then please do. Try to get to a place where you can sit up tall to begin. So rather than feeling like you're going to rock backwards, feel like you can sit up tall and even kind of get onto the front edge of your sit bones. You want an anterior tilt in your pelvis. So it's like you want to stick your butt out behind you, hinge at your hips, take your heart forward. Take your heart forward and lengthen for as long as you can. When you can't lengthen anymore, then release. You might walk your hands forward on the ground in front of you to go deeper. Press your heels firmly together. Breathe down into your outer hips. Very nice, you guys. See if you can be here for 5 deep breaths. And in those 5 deep breaths, can you relax and soften just 5% more? What would that feel like? Relax through your facial muscles, not clenching through your jaw. What if you could soften through your heart space? What would that feel like? Get curious. Last couple rounds. Dive a little deeper. Maybe let it go out your mouth. End of your next exhalation, ever so slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Your head is the very last thing to lift and stack. And then once your head stacks up, we're going to come down onto our backs with our legs in this position. So make sure you have plenty of space behind you and then just lower down onto your back. So feet together, knees apart. You can absolutely choose to just relax here in this pose. Just let gravity do the work. Just breathe. If you would like, I'm going to give you an option that will be a little more active and will really get into your hip flexors, the front of your hips. So arms down by your side, palms face down, press your heels firmly together, and then lift your butt up. So see if you can press your heels together so much that you lift your butt off the ground. Once your butt lifts, squeeze your outer glutes. Imagine somebody's pressing your knees down towards the ground and you're trying to press your hips up higher. Make sure your breath is still there. One more round. Squeeze your outer glutes. Lift, lift, lift. Press your heels and let it go. As you rest, you might kind of flutter your knees up and down a bit if that feels good. You can adjust if you want to. Take your feet further away or closer to your pelvis. We'll do 2 more times just like that. So exhale, press your palms down, press your heels together. Inhale, lift your butt up, squeeze your outer glutes, squeeze your butt cheeks. Imagine somebody's pressing your knees down and you are trying to lift your hips up. One more breath, lift, 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 squeeze, 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 breathe, and release. Let it go. Option to flutter your knees a bit or just rest. We've got one more just like that. Exhale, press palms down, press heels together. Inhale, lift your hips up. Squeeze your outer glutes, your butt cheeks. Lift higher. Imagine someone's pressing your knees down. See if you can get your knees closer to the earth. And then lift, 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 squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. One last big breath. Yes, let it go. Bring your knees up, feet on the ground with knees bent. Bring your feet out mat width distance apart, so feet wide. Yeah, tee out your arms or cactus your arms, just like we did when we were seated. Windshield wiper your knees side to side, slowly, intentionally. Next time your knees fall to the right side, keep them there for about 3 breaths. Option to bring the outer edge of your right foot to the outside of your left knee, and then encourage your left knee forward and down with the strength in your right leg. Breathe. End of your next exhalation, switch to the other side. So remove your foot from your leg, bring your knees through center, let them fall over to the left. Maybe outer left foot to the outside of right knee. Gaze up or over right shoulder, big Buddha belly breath. Back to center. Remove your foot, bring your knees back. And for a moment, just let your feet stay nice and wide, but let your knees fall in towards each other. So the outer edges of your feet can lift a little bit. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. And just feel the rise and fall of your breath. Feel your front body expand up into your hands with your inhale. Imagine your breath moving all the way down into your pelvic bowl, into your hips. And then exhale all the way to empty. Feel your front body just deflate and drop down towards the ground. Just resting here. This is called constructive rest pose. So you're not doing much of anything, but it is constructive. There is something happening on the inside. We just can't necessarily see it. There is space being created on the inside. You can stay here for the remainder of our practice. If this feels really nice, you want to stay here, fine with me. Otherwise, take any finishing poses, any finishing movements or stretches that your body would still like. So I'm going to take a happy baby myself. Maybe you take a full body stretch. Maybe you want to roll out your ankles and your wrists. Maybe you want to squeeze your knees in and just give yourself a great big hug. So in your next, let's say 5 breaths,
find your way into your own final relaxation. So that might be the traditional corpse pose with legs extended and arms resting out to your sides. Maybe, again, you want to stay in constructive rest pose, feet on the ground with knees bent, feet wider than hips. Maybe you want to bring your feet together, knees apart, rest there. Maybe you want to roll over into a fetal position. So whatever best suits you, wherever you can relax and let go, find your way there. Close your eyes eventually and let your breath now become effortless. So let go of any control, let go of any effort, and just let your body breathe you. And this is what we're preparing for when we do our practice. We're tiring out our body, we're tiring out our minds so that now we can be still. Just notice. So these last few moments, yes, there will be the impulse to get up and go do the next thing you've got planned for your day, but choose to stay and simply just rest and simply just be for a little longer. Give that to yourself. Time and space just to feel whatever is inside of you. No judgment, just observation. Shavasana. And I will come around with a little essential oil spritz. If you do not want it on you or near you, just raise one hand for 1 second. Okay, thank you. Take a deep breath in and let it go. And just start to wiggle through fingers, toes. Maybe you want to give yourself a little temple massage again, forehead, jaw massage. You want to rub your hands together and feel some heat there. As you're ready, roll to either side, fetal position. And just take one moment to rest on your side and really imagine, use your imagination. Imagine all the effort, all the energy from your practice in some way, shape, or form that makes sense to you. Imagine it just soaking into your body, absorbing into your being. And then use the strength in your arms to guide yourself up into seated meditation. So just a comfortable seat facing towards the front of your mat. Close your eyes and gather your hands to your heart center. And take one last moment as you sit just to notice how you feel. So notice if anything has shifted physically, energetically, emotionally, even the slightest bit since the beginning of our practice. Bow your head to your heart and just acknowledge yourself for taking time to roll out your mat, to slow down enough to tune in. Thank you for letting me guide you. Namaste. All right, you guys, awesome job. You must have been practicing or something.